Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today I'm back with another installment of my Townie Tinies series where I'm making tiny houses for townies in The Sims 4, and today we're actually creating a tiny house for some NPCs that don't have a house to begin with. And I'm talking about the Crumplebottoms, Agnes and Agatha, who live in Henford-on-Bagley and are some pretty iconic Sims in the Sims franchise, especially Agnes, who has been around for a while and has quite the history. So if you're not familiar with these Sims, in The Sims 4, they live in Henford-on-Bagley and they control the little garden stall in town where they sell produce and all of that you can go ahead and grab some like flowers and all of that for your garden from, because this whole pack is about gardening and running like a little cottage farm and all of that. It's really cute. But Agnes is a well-known Sim from the previous Sims games, as you might remember her as the Sim that if you perform any kind of romantic interactions while she is anywhere near you, she's going to track you down and whip out her purse and smack you with it very hard. And she still does that in The Sims 4. It's quite fun. My favorite thing is to go up to her and be like, hey, and like flirt with her, because she's just like very angry about it immediately and then starts hitting you. And there's just something so amusing and so Sims about that. So I do enjoy doing that. But the reasoning behind it, if you're not familiar, is quite sad. Agnes actually has a pretty like sad backstory. She is a widow. She had 2 previous husbands, and she's also related to the Goth family. Mortimer, I believe, is her nephew, and her older sister is Cornelia Goth. So if you weren't familiar with that, there is a little bit of her backstory on where she is from and who she's related to. And her cousin that she lives with that we're building this house for, Agatha, was not present, I don't think, before The Sims 4. So she is a new character, but she's really fun too. I had a lot of fun decorating this space for both of them. But when it comes to Agnes, there were a couple of things that I did want to include in this house that nodded to her past. Because she just wasn't always a bitter old lady. She, of course, was young at one point and had dreams of a very bright future and having children with her husband, Eric Darling. Unfortunately, he drowned on their honeymoon and things were really never the same after that. In The Sims 3, his ghost was haunting the property, and there was an empty nursery that had a crib in it, and it really looked like they wanted to have a kid, but obviously that never happened. And then in The Sims 2 and in The Sims 4, she is the Agnes Crumplebottom we know and kind of love. So I wanted to give a little bit of a nod to that past in here. There's not too much of things, but I have a couple of like memory boxes in her room and a little teddy bear I was thinking she was originally going to want to give to her child. But she does live here with her cousin now, Agatha, and Agatha is just like a ray of sunshine. She is so lovely and happy, and she likes gardening. So I wanted to include a lot of that in this house. So they have like a nice little plot of land out to the side of the home where they can grow all sorts of produce, which also makes sense because they do, man the garden stall, which isn't too far from here, which is why I decided to build their house in Henford-on-Bagley and also pretty close to the town center, because that is where they are currently working and how they make their income to support themselves here. So that is what I ended up including here. We're just figuring out the landscaping. I really liked mixing these purple and yellow flowers together. I thought it was really striking and looked really nice with the thatched roof that I have on this property. And then we're just getting some stones leading to the front of the lot. And I'm trying to think what else is on the exterior. Oh, there's one thing that I did, because I did build this on stream, and chat and myself decided it would be hilarious, a very good idea, that since Agatha enjoys gardening and Agnes is very anti romance, woohoo, any of that stuff, that perhaps Agatha planted a woohoo bush right outside the property, and it happens to be right outside a window that also happens to be the window to Agnes's bedroom. So the window we're right now is actually where Agnes's bedroom is going to be, and I will be placing down a woohoo bush there very, very soon. Here it is. Perfect. I'm thinking this was, something that Agatha didn't realize when she did it. I don't think she has like a mean bone in her body, but it is a funny coincidence that did happen. And yeah, I think Agnes isn't too happy about it. It'd be kind of funny if you have Sims do that right outside of Agnes's window. I'd love to see her reaction. I bet she will grab that purse for you. But anyway, when I was going through the debug, I completely forgot that in debug for cottage living, you can actually grab Agnes's purse. So I did put it in this house. So that made me really happy. At first I put it in the living room, but I do move it to her bedroom a little bit later just to more symbolize that is her room. So she has a room on the bottom floor for a couple of reasons. A, I wanted the woohoo bush to be right outside her window. But B, of the two cousins, she appears to be a little bit older. So I was thinking the stairs might be harder for her. So I decided Agatha could have the bedroom that is upstairs. But out here, I added this little gnome, which apparently there is a little quest in Henford-on-Bagley. I don't remember all of them, but my chat reminded me that there is one with Agatha, and if you complete it, she gives you this little gnome. So it was a cute idea to go ahead and add that outside of this house. And a little bench out here, a couple of places for birds to hang out. We have a bird bath and a bird feeder. I also have a bunch of trellises going up the side of the house just to add a little bit more texture. And I just felt like it fit nicely here. And of course, lots of plants. And we also end up having a wash bucket and clothesline. Although I think I forgot to add a hamper in this house. I always do that for some reason. So you might want to add a hamper if you decide to download this house. But yeah, just finishing up some landscaping now, getting some more of these bushes around the back and some dirt. And then we're heading inside to figure out this floor plan. I decided to use this flooring from Cottage Living, and the staircase placement gave me a little bit of trouble. We figured it out. I think I cut out most of the footage of that, but I guess we'll find out together because I really wasn't sure where I wanted to put it. And it just, it's not where I want it, but it's okay. It works out fine in the end. I just have to end up moving some of these windows, which, they don't look symmetrical and nice on that side anymore, but it's okay. And then upstairs, this is going to be where Agatha's bedroom is. She has her own ensuite bathroom, unlike Agnes, who just has the downstairs bathroom. But I feel like they probably just use their own bathrooms and it's not a problem. It's just if they had visitors over, I'm assuming they would use the downstairs one. But it was just the way the layout worked out in here. And there ends up being a super tiny, cute kitchen. And I decided to have the entry to this house on a diagonal, which I thought was really fun, and created this very weird entrance, but I really like how it came out in the end. And in the kitchen here, I really wanted to use green counters, specifically because I was thinking that Agatha always wears green, so I thought it was a nice nod to her. It's a color I associate with her, and so that is why we ended up using these. And of course, they are from Cottage Living, using a lot of Cottage Living in this pack or in this build because we are building in the world that comes with that, and that is where these townies are from. But it ends up being a really small kitchen. We also end up having a very small dining table in here. It's pretty cramped, but adding some shelves in here with all sorts of clutter. These really beautiful curtains from the high school years pack I thought fit perfectly in here and really matched the color. But here is that table and chairs. I still have to play test this to see if it works, but if not, only one of the chairs would work if they don't both. But I just thought it looked cute, and it doesn't bother me that much if it doesn't work. Your Sims can go ahead and eat on the couch. I feel like that's usually where my Sims eat anyway, so it doesn't bother me. I just thought the kitchen looked really nice. But over here I have the stove and our empty counter so your Sims can actually prep food. And then I just added a broom and stuff on the wall as well as a trash can. Just trying to fill up the space and make it look realistic. I will be coming back in here to add cutting boards because they are very important to have in every build ever, and if I build anything on stream and I don't add cutting boards, my chat yells at me. So they will be added a little bit later when I go back in and realize that I would like to add a bag of groceries, which is another item that comes in debug with Cottage Living because you can have a grocery delivery service, which is so cute. So I really like that item as well. It's groceries you haven't put away yet, but we are working on the living room now. I have been completely obsessed with this rug from Werewolves. I feel like I can't build anything without grabbing that and trying to use that as the rug in every single space that I decorate. It's my current favorite rug. I feel like we all go through this where there's certain items that you just end up overusing and they're your go-to. And for me right now, it's this Werewolves rug. It is just so beautiful, and I think the colors worked really nice in this space. So yeah, I also put cross stitch down because that's another item that came with, or no, like another skill item that came with cottage living. And there's Agnes's purse. But Agnes actually like autonomously, I can't say that word, but she automatically, when you're not playing as her, when she's just an NPC in the world, she'll just be cross stitching. So I thought that was a cute idea to include in this home. And just another activity for your Sims to do as well. And then I just got some artwork over here. I will be changing out that curtain because I really don't like how it looks. But at this moment in time, I was like, oh, it matches the couch cushions. Perfect. But anyway, over here by the TV, I'm just getting some artwork and a little mirror and some like plants and stuff. I just wanted it to look fully decorated, and it just needed a little something else. Also, this TV is one of my favorites. It's actually a TV you can get out of the dumpster if you go dumpster diving from Eco Lifestyle. I think it's modeled after a TV from The Sims 1. So that's kind of a fun little thing to add in here. But anyway, this is going to be Agnes Crumplebottom's bedroom. And here's the teddy bear I had mentioned that I was thinking maybe she planned to give to her child that she never ended up having. And so I tried to just have a couple of little nods in here. We also at first added this little trinket box, but I didn't end up keeping that in the end because I thought the memory box was better, so I ended up putting that there, and then I used the red shelf to go ahead and place the teddy bear on top of the trinket box, or on top of the memory box. This red shelf is a CC item. I use it in a lot of my builds. It just helps me to place items more precisely at whatever level I'd like, and you can do this with some of the shelves in the game as well, but this one has way bigger slots and more slots on it, so it's a lot easier to use. So if you're ever curious what that is, I don't leave it in the build, so this build does not have any custom content in it, but it is linked in the description down below if you'd like to download it for yourself. And I also have a tutorial on the channel in my tutorial playlist if you are interested on learning how to use it. But anyway, the bedside table is pretty much done now. I have the purse, I have the memory box, a little teddy bear, a little journal. I do move the journal though and decide to put that up on the like little shelves I put above her bed. And put a tissue box there instead because somebody in chat was like, she needs some tissues for all the crying she does in private. And that like really pulled at my heartstrings. I was like, y'all are going to make me bawl. This is not okay. So I ended up moving that, and I put the dresser up on a high shelf so maybe nobody else can reach it because she doesn't want anyone to read what's in her diary. And I put some books there instead. And then we're just getting a little dresser over here in the corner. I don't think I put too much decorations on it. I put these like dried flowers because they just feel very like old lady to me. I feel like a lot of people in my life that are older always seem to have like dried flowers or lots of fake flowers. I know my grandma used to have like a whole closet full of fake bouquets, and I never understood why. But now I do the same thing, except not with like flowers. It's mostly like succulents and like green plants, but they're all fake because I can't keep a plant alive to save my own life. But I'm starting to understand, but I thought that was a fun thing to include in this home. That's definitely something I think about a lot when I'm building homes for older Sims or grandparents, is I always end up kind of referencing my grandmother or my great-grandmother in those rooms or in those builds. So a little nod to her, I suppose. But anyway, this is Agatha's bedroom, and it's just so bright and cheerful and happy. It's pink and green, and I love the curtains. This floral wallpaper I used in most of the house. It just felt right for these Sims, and I added like a couple of paintings up above the bed that were like nature themed. They just felt right for Agatha. I tried to make this room just feel very happy, and I think that's exactly how it came out. We have the same dresser that Agnes has downstairs. They probably bought them as a pair and got a good deal on them, and then I just added a couple more plants in here. But that's pretty much it for this episode of Towny Tinies. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know who I should tackle next, and like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more, and click that bell to be notified when I upload. Thank you so very much for watching, and enjoy the screenshots. Bye everyone.